Swivel chair dancing. Alrighty, got another intro down. This is You Be Aight podcast presented by AML Media, Alberta Marie Laborda Media. Love you, Mom. This is episode 4.
Episode 4.
We're calling it the Thanksgiving episode. This is about that time of the year.
For us, it is.
We already had our Thanksgiving. Before we get into that, I am Gene Labordi. This is my brother, Stephen Labordi. And behind all of the productions and all the stuff that we don't like to do is my beautiful wife, Rachel Labordi. Rachel, you want to give us our plugs?
Okay. You can find us on Twitter at AML_media_. Same on YouTube. Instagram is AML Media _. And you can find us on TikTok now too. It's just AML Media. And Facebook is AML Media as well.
You should be getting better at that, but it's okay. There's the new we have TikTok now, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Jump right in it. Thanksgiving episode. One of my favorite holidays usually. This year we didn't go. I try to make it home to Philly, but of course my mom passing, we don't have that option really anymore. So this was new for you completely.
Big time. Yeah.
So Rachel's family, Rachel's mom especially, Bev, shout out, created a beautiful spread for us. We had to do it basically a week early before Thanksgiving, because she works in the medical field, so her schedule is a little bit different. But I've been telling stories for years to my brother about Thanksgivings because Rachel's family, her dad is from Indonesia. And so English is his second language, but he's been Americanized for a while because he worked on a cruise ship. Anyway, the point of this kind of what we're getting to is Thanksgiving is a little different there because Rachel has brothers, well, they're half brothers that are 20, 30. I mean, you're 30 years old and you have a brother that's 50 some years old.
Yeah, my oldest brother is 60, so double my age. So
an interesting dynamic.
Sam is out there squirting, dude.
yeah, he was laying it around, having multiple kids, some that I've never met, but that's just the Indonesian way, kind of.
Sam is Rachel's father.
But I've always told you stories of being very interesting because the dynamic of the Indonesian people are they want to feed you as much as possible. I mean, like, if you say, I like your shirt, they're going to try and literally take it off and give it to you. That's just the way they are. They're giving people, but when it comes to food, they take it very seriously. So Thanksgiving is a interesting dynamic because in Indonesia, they didn't have Thanksgiving, but here they just look at it as another food fest day.
It's a feast, right?
Yeah, so, and it's definitely a lot different. It's more intimate, I think, than our Thanksgivings were growing up.
I don't know. It's just different. It's also, they're more formal in that, like, everybody has kind of an assigned seat a little bit. Like
an assigned job.
Unless you're me and you don't have to do nothing.
Hey,
you had to cut the turkey. But it's just different. We're just plain white. And we grew up just plain white. And white people, Thanksgiving is mostly about the football game. And which we did watch football. It's just different.
It is, and it's just, I mean, that because the household's set up differently. But so was there something that you were, because I've been going there for now 5, 6, maybe even 7 years? Around there. I was still in college before we were married. So I had stories, and it's definitely different because in their culture, how can I put this nice? Like, women will stand up and sit on the floor for you to have.
I think it's important to mention that Sam and his sons are devout Muslims. So that is a huge aspect of why things are, to us, a little unorthodox. I mean, being Indonesians, whatever, but because they're devout Muslims, yeah, the women in that faith. They're kind of second-class citizens. And Bev don't really stand for none
No,
of that.
Bev is completely Irish white American, raised by a strong white Irish American man. So she runs the roost of the house for
Right.
sure. But
The other women are Sam's.
he is like
They're more passive, I guess.
and him being the oldest, like being the
It
grandfather.
actually means something.
Yeah, so it's very like you make sure, like when the grandkids come in, they make sure they go up and, say their hellos and give a hug, all in a
Pay the
very loving
respects.
way.
Pay the
Here's, you know what? This is what's missing is for such a long time, you had like no interaction with their family because you were in Philadelphia. I was here in Pittsburgh. There's been other holidays that get mixed into the stories. So
Yes.
I guess this is what I'll throw out there too, because this is comical. There's nothing but funny and all love because the family is so loving and will bring anybody in. But one of the holidays that they have there after they fast is basically they all cook as much as they can. It's like their their
Talking
religious.
about Ramadan?
Yes, or not Ramadan. Rachel, what's it called? Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr.
The end of Ramadan.
It's the end of Ramadan. First time I go there, I have no idea what to expect. Now, remember, I'm a very large man, so I like to have my space. I go in a place where normally I would say 5 to 7 people can fit. 20 people are in here, and they're comfortable with that. That's kind of what they're used to. I walk in, there's all women sitting on the floor. And like the nice chair, everyone's house I think has like the nice chair in the living room or something that's like usually for the dad or something. They demanded I sat there, and I was uncomfortable with it.
Right.
So just all of that kind of gets into play with the stories I've told you about Thanksgiving. So I probably build it up.
But the stories, to me, they're very funny, but it's mostly you. It's not them.
I build it up in my own head.
And it's, and you're always cognizant of, like, how much space you're taking up. So it's really your neurotic tendencies that make things funny, because they were very gracious. I genuinely felt like they were happy I was there.
Definitely were, yeah.
I didn't feel like they just had to invite me.
And for you, it's easy for you to feel kind of out of place or like anxious and want to kind of get away from it.
Sometimes, yeah.
But there you like, I usually just kind of sit in my misery and act like I'm too big for this damn room. Mm-hmm. You'll kind of just buzz around. It's funny that that's the first time you were there. I think you were there more comfortable than I have been.
Yeah, well, I know. They dislike me. Bev likes me, so I didn't feel like I was. It's not the first time I met them, for one, but it was the first time I was in their home.
It's also they put me at the worst place. The place I sit at Thanksgiving divides the whole house.
Yeah,
Because of the shape of the house, I sit at the corner of the table where no one can get behind me.
But no one's supposed to be walking around during dinner. That's the thing. You always say that. But
Yeah, but people do.
not this time.
Not this time, but supposed
It's 'cause
to.
my one brother likes to walk around. He doesn't like to sit.
Okay, well, when someone's trying to get behind you and there's obviously no way to get behind you, it hurts a little bit when you're just trying to eat some Thanksgiving dinners.
Right, and you know how much I take pleasure from watching your discomfort with things nobody else is thinking about.
Well, you know what I'm thinking because we've been, we're brothers. So you know when this is going on. I'm like, no, I don't want a biscuit because it has to get past an extra distance, and now I feel like I'm an inconvenience. Damn it, I'm taking up too much room. Why am I here?
Well, I get it though, because I was a very hefty young man, and you're always, you feel like you're the center of attention all the time, even when you're not. You feel like
Just literally like elbow placement I'm worried about because I have the ability to ruin someone's day with a movement of my arm, kind of. I can ruin dinner by touching someone's glass and not even feeling it on my hand.
It went smoothly though.
No, it was great, and I'm glad we had a place to go. I had a hard time, which this kind of goes to show another like
Formality.
Yeah, and we have traditions in our family, but their one thing is saying what you're grateful for, which I think a lot of families do. I always have a hard time because I'm emotional. I cry easily.
We held it together for the most part.
And so everyone's saying just normal things. But even though I'm like, I'm just grateful to have dinner here. I love you guys so much. Like, I can break down crying very easily.
Well, with Mom being gone, this kind of like the permanence of it, it really hit home.
This was the first holiday without her.
Right. And I mean, unless you count like Labor Day or whatever, Veterans Day, but no. It was good to have somewhere to go, and it felt like a family thing. And you held it back. I was standing right next to you when you did your thanks, and you started to choke up a little bit, but you held it together. Because I know if you would have actually cried, you would have been, for days, you would have been salty about it.
Well, it's like, I don't know what it is. I can't make eye contact with somebody. So, like, I just have to, I started just slowly turning while I'm talking, so I can't even face anybody while I'm still saying what I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
But no, it was awesome. We had a great time. I'm glad you were there.
I have to say something just as a genuine thanks. A couple people, when they were saying like what they were thankful for, like gave me a little shout out, and that meant something. You know what I mean? It wasn't just, even if they were lying, it was nice.
Bev genuinely is like excited to kind of bring you in. Same with me. It was like all open arms. And
I'm an orphan now, kind of. So like I'm a little orphan.
Let the boy eat at your house.
Yeah, let me sleep in the corner. I'll do your laundry.
But no, I had a great time. And
we stayed
for a while.
And I was fine. Like usually after like an hour and a half, after we eat, if I'm not comfortable, I want to leave. But I was cool, man. It was good.
And we got some of them cookies.
We got some fucking cookies.
Yeah, that's the what your brother makes those pineapple cookies. I don't even drink coffee, but they make me want to drink coffee and dunk them in there. And we're lucky to get them 1 or 2 times a year.
Don't let me leave without taking my share of those cookies.
You already got your share.
Nuh-uh.
Rachel, is he trying to steal shares?
No, I took 3 for him.
Yeah, I didn't.
This motherfucker's trying to steal shares.
They're for me.
But yeah, so that was good. Anything? What else? I guess we just seen each other 2 days ago. You got a little sick yesterday.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling too hot.
Your little belly
And
hurt.
I'm a baby. Yeah, when I don't feel good, I shut it down.
Did you have to sit on the toilet for a little bit?
I did.
I used to hate when you would tell me that. I think we talked about the first episode, but when I always have had stomach issues, and you would just think I'm trying to get out of school, and you'd go, "Why don't you just sit on the toilet?" And I'd be like, "You."
It helps sometimes.
It does, but you weren't saying it to
definitely a
help
burn.
me. You were just trying to burn on me.
One more thing on the Thanksgiving dinner is the funny part to me was the greetings and so longs, if you will, where it was like handshake, hug, half hug, and like you said, they don't know what to do either.
Well, and that's the thing too. Also, I've mentioned this, and at my wedding, you experienced it. We are giants compared to
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the tallest one is maybe 5'4", like, and I'm not exaggerating there. So, like, when I hug Sam's dad,
he's like in your tip.
I have to like bend down, and they're all small framed people, and if you go for a handshake, they'll go for it. But I think
no, they hug. They wanted, especially the men. And in our culture, the last people you're gonna hug usually, unless it's your father or your brother, if they're just family members by default, like not really family, you just shake between men.
Yeah.
But in the Muslim culture, it's not a part of the faith, but just the culture, the men are very like, they dance together. The
boys have a good time.
The boys hang with the boys.
Well, and a lot of it is adapted too, because I've gone through that learning experience of going for the handshake, and then they kind of turn the thumb up to, like, that's the man kind of hug, I think. Like like with Joey, our cousin, I got to give, it's like you do the
it's kind of like a bro hug.
Yeah, there.
So
they've kind of adapted to that, but it is always funny because every time there's that split of like, is this going to be a handshake?
Yeah.
Nope, going okay, hug.
Yeah. But I'm a hugger, so I'm fine.
I usually am
I usually go for a hug.
And that's that split decision of, because what makes it weird is the hesitation. But if you just, I think in general, if you just immediately go, especially as a bigger guy,
shake first, yeah.
people are like, oh yeah, we're going for a hug.
Yeah.
But if you do, the in between hand. All right, and then you get kind of caught in a weird hand.
Yeah. It's funny that just in life how many levels there are to the smallest things. Like you could break down the hug, shake.
And it changes scenarios. So, like, just a couple weeks ago, we just went out to eat with Rachel's parents, and that was just a simple handshake with Sam.
Yeah.
But this was Thanksgiving, so like that added of like, hey, was something special a little bit. You give the hug.
Right. And last little tidbit on the dinner was watching football with them. Is funny because they get the rules. But they make noises that most American football watchers don't make, and they do it in unison.
They all have the same noise, and it's because
like
they learned it late, and they're so excited.
Do the noise so that people can kind of...
Yahoo! And that's for a missed catch, kind of. But it is funny because they learned it so late in their life, and they're all in the food industry, so that's got to be a topic they had to learn to just be, fitting in. So it's funny to watch them watch football because their team's not doing well right now, but they're still like, why did he drop the pass? Or when someone has a missed tackle, like, why didn't they just tackle him?
Yeah.
And I feel like telling them, but I let them go because they're enjoying themselves.
They are, and they're legit Pittsburgh Steelers fans, but it's just funny because they don't have the nuanced appreciation for what's going on in the field. So, like, dumb things, they get it. Like, that one guy who tried to dodge a tackle, I think it was either Pickett, I don't know who it was, one of the receivers for Pittsburgh, like to try to get away from a tackle, he ended up like basically getting down on his head, like sitting almost to avoid taking a big hit. And they had found it hysterical that he sat down on the field. And I was like, it was just funny because he did that so he didn't get fucking murdered.
Well, or just simply a Steeler trying to tackle somebody, like they got their hands on him,
why did they
and they go, why didn't he tackle them? Like the guy thought, like, you know what, I don't feel like tackle him. They're like, he touched him, that should be a tackle. And it's like, and that in that moment, they're all so excited to go wee-hoo, and the tackle doesn't happen, and then
it's just funny, But you know what? Like,
it's fun.
That's a great way to ingratiate yourself with an entirely different country and culture.
That's especially because they, like I said, they all work in the food industry, so they're working around real bros, angry people who, like, I'm sure they've worked with people that if the Steelers lose that week, they're like, I don't even want to fucking work this week.
That's how it is in Philly, anyway.
But yeah, that's a good little recap. Rachel had fun. Rachel, how was your vegan turkey loaf?
It was good. My mom made me a vegan turkey loaf. It was made of lentils and oatmeal and
it looked very vegan.
It looked vegan. Like, you make fun of vegan things, but like
that's what South Park.
Vegan.
That's what South Park and Family Guy draws the vegan turkey. It looked like that.
I didn't even notice.
It was really good though. It definitely needed gravy. It was a little bit dry, but with the gravy on it, I liked it.
Most of this shit tastes good.
And your stuffing was good too. It was different because it had the crunches. It was almost like crouton style stuffing, I would call it.
Yeah, it was big pieces of bread. I made it last year and it was a hit, but nobody
had some
this year.
What was good?
The food was.
What's your MVP of Thanksgiving food?
Well, you know I'm not huge on the turkey when it's just turkey. I like to have a sandwich or something with turkey. I would say, aside from the cookies, because I'm a sweet fiend.
Do you love sweets?
I liked the green bean casserole, and I have to say, cranberry sauce, nobody cooked it. It comes in a can. I fucking love cranberry sauce.
I learned that this year about you because when it was us having Thanksgiving, it's such a... Here is so... Like, Rachel's family is so much less stressful than ours was. And it's because our mom wanted to do everything. We're waiting for our aunt who's 3 hours late, who's bringing lasagna for no reason.
There's always something.
By the time you sit down, it's like, just let's get this over with.
Yeah. And my mom isn't, like, the greatest cook, and she doesn't love to cook unless it's soup. So, like, for her to do a Thanksgiving meal was, Not her favorite thing to do.
Which is hard because you got to get everything hot at the same time. It's not an easy. And we always did too much. Like Rachel's family simplifies it. They go with the classics: mashed potatoes, stuffing, cornbread, turkey.
Oh, there's my MVP. The cornbread was really good. I mean, I could say green bean casserole, but
and you know, I've learned
never had it.
not everybody has green bean casserole.
missing
Like
out.
to me, I think that's a staple, but that's not a thing for everybody.
I think everybody should have green bean casserole at least once a month.
It is.
It's so good.
With a ton of the dried onions on it. And if you don't know what green bean casserole is, go Google it, make it for yourself.
It's simple to make too.
And if your family doesn't have it, you're going to be the star at your next Thanksgiving.
What was your MVP dish?
I have a hard time. I do. I'm a protein man, but turkey's not the best. Actually, you know what I really liked this year, which I normally don't go for? I was hitting on those sweet potatoes.
Yeah, I don't like sweet potatoes.
But I normally am not a big fan, but Rachel's mom like burns some of it, so it gets this texture of like a
Caramelize
it caramelizes the side
It
of it.
looked good. I just don't like sweet potatoes.
Because everything else is always just as good, but this year, because stuffing is always going to be an MVP, but this year I'm going to give those sweet potatoes were good.
Okay, and I'd just say it was nice to have an unburnt biscuit.
Yeah, Mom always burnt the biscuits.
Yeah.
She forgot. No, you know what? Actually, the MVP goes to every Thanksgiving. Gravy.
Yeah, especially turkey is not good. Just
And because everything that's not sweet, I just put a bunch of gravy on there, and I turn
and
it
was
in.
good gravy.
And I turn it into basically just a mixed mash of everything.
I ate way more than I usually do in a sit-down meal.
True.
You know me, like I'm a picker.
And you were picking before too.
Yeah, so everything was good. So I expect to be there again next year.
Rachel, what was your MVP?
I am a newfound mashed potato girl.
She keeps calling herself, I'm a mashed potato girl. I said, don't say that outside the house. People are going to...
I used to always be a stuffing girl, but I recently have changed, and now I'm loving mashed potatoes. And they were especially good. I think my brother put some extra salt in, but they were very good.
Good job on the salt.
And it's crazy to watch mashed potatoes. So much butter is in mashed potatoes.
Oh, dude.
So that
Which
and...
is not vegan.
But also something actually really nice about my family is they sneak vegan everything into the mashed potatoes. So the mashed potatoes were vegan. We just don't tell people so that they'll eat it normally and not realize.
You motherfuckers.
Now I know why I'm sick now. I'm sick all of a sudden.
If anything, you should be less sick because you had no milk.
No, I feel like someone has done me wrong now. I don't like
love that. The sneaking of the vegan. You could tell
it. You
me.
ate some
and I'll eat
mushrooms too. You didn't know you ate mushrooms.
it. And the stuffing.
Rachel, what was the mushrooms in?
The green bean casserole.
Green bean casserole had mushrooms.
Well, it has
in
cream and mushroom soup, right?
No, actual mushrooms. Rachel sauteed them.
It's usually cream of mushroom soup. But
Mom never
made
did
them-
that because Mom doesn't like mushrooms, so she would do cream of celery in hers.
Well, and I made them vegan, so I couldn't use cream of anything soup. So,
But a mushroom you cook down so much you don't even know it's there, and a mushroom have a strong flavor once you saute it in garlic.
Oh, by the way, horseradish cranberry sauce, very good.
Yeah, right. That's the only place I've ever seen it.
Never seen that. Never had that. It's good if you like horseradish. Obviously.
that's my mom's favorite.
Yeah.
It helps cut it down a little bit. But also, shout out MVP, I think, is leftover turkey sandwiches. I didn't have you have to use pumpernickel bread is the best. You can go rye, but pumpernickel bread with a ton of mayo because turkey's dry.
Hell yeah.
And then you can do all sorts of mixtures. I just go cheese and turkey, but Mom used to put a little bit of, basically a whole dinner with a little bit of...
little stuffing on there.
And with the cranberry sauce, I'm not a cranberry sauce guy. I don't like to mix sweet and salty together. It's not my thing.
Yeah. Well, it's not everybody's favorite, but I like it.
So yeah, so then to wrap up Thanksgiving, it was a great day and all. Funny story that I saved. I didn't tell you yet. I wanted to tell you live so you could react for real. So Thanksgiving was 2 days ago. Yesterday I was off, so I got one of my sleep-in days where I basically just sleep all day long. I finally get up to get dressed. And I still can't figure out how this happened, but I woke up, I had clothes on the floor. I usually have some clothes I leave on the floor if I'm going to wear them again or just not put in the hamper. Went to step around, stepped on a pair of shorts, took a step back, noticed something, and it was dog shit. Now, usually the dog who poops in the house has an accident, does it in a corner or a wide open thing, and he has full logs. It's an easy cleanup, and you see it right away. This, for a quick second, I go, how drunk was I last night? Did I shit my pants?
So you smelled it at this point?
No, that's the thing. And you know me. And if you guys don't, I can't even watch my dog shit or I throw up. I can't do poop. So I step on it and immediately I pick up the shorts and a fucking weird turd rolls out.
Oh, no.
I don't know how it was like in the shorts.
I think he tried to hide it and he
That's a smart dog.
pooped on the shorts and then tried to bury it.
Did like a cat barrier kind of thing. But so I go, oh, we have a problem. Rachel's right there. And she goes, leave the room because if not, I will throw up. And then we have to clean up human throw up too. So I'm butt ass naked at this point.
Why?
Because I was in the middle of changing. And I had I had to sprint out of the room and go into the guest room where I just sat on the bed while Rachel cleaned this up. And I'm just trying to not breathe through my nose because I'll start getting it in my head and I will throw up. So I'm in there just trying to distract myself. Rachel's like, just stay in there. It's a lot worse than we thought it was. I don't even... How many turds were there total? Because I only seen the one that fell out and I immediately ran.
There was one turd and then a lot of just liquid doggy
Oh,
poo.
no. Can we just... Real quick, I just want to say, Rachel can verify. To set the scene, it's like a bona fide emergency event with you and poop. And I think it's pretty obnoxious, quite frankly. I'm not saying you're exaggerating, but every time I'm like, this is the most ridiculous. You're a grown man, and like everybody's on eggshells. It's like, oh my God, there's dog shit. Like, you have dogs. Get used to it, man.
I've tried. I will. Like a week and a half ago, she was in the office coming home from work. Woke up, there's poop on it, and I tried, and I was totally cool until I went to tie it up. And I missed the tie, and I threw it in the trash can, and then it just gets in my head, and then, like, this is me just waking up, nothing in my stomach, so, like, I had stomach bile coming up. Once it gets in my head, I can't.
I know.
And throw up I'm usually good with.
Not last time.
That was gnarly throw up.
Yeah, the dog's, Mac, ate an entire, like, not the family size, but the
1 pound.
Almost a pound of peanut butter M&Ms, and I was fucking pissed.
Because that's your treat.
That's my jam.
And he threw it, and it was terrible.
Bag.
And the crazy thing was, it smelled like peanut butter. So I'm going, I hope my dog's okay. But I go, all right, Rachel always does poop. Let me do... I can't even talk about it too much. I go, let me do the throw up. I'm trying to, like, there's so much. I'm using the pan and the broom, and it's just, like, sticking together.
Think of, like, a gigantic, not gigantic, let's say the size of, like, a dustpan of just brown diarrhea-looking vomit.
That smelled like peanut butter.
But
and
it was like
get
a big brown peanut butter loogie.
But this is, and once again, like, not exaggerating, I've been out front, dressed nice to go out, waiting for an Uber, and we're letting the dog out, and it's like a car crash, I can't look away, and I see Charlie poop, and then, like, Uber's pulling up, and I'm just like, because once a little bit comes out, I'm evacuating my whole stomach.
Right.
But so that happens,
So you're in the guest room naked.
Sitting naked on the guest bed, which is your bed you sleep on when you're here, so... Right. Just think of that next time. When I go, Rachel, can you please bring me underwear? I feel really vulnerable while she's in the middle of cleaning. Brings me underwear. And then when I go to put the underwear on, I notice there's shit on my foot.
Nice.
So then I have to basically act like my foot's not even there. And Rachel had to clean poop off my foot.
Oh, man. Good job, Rachel. Way to step up.
Yeah, thank you so much. Cause
can I share my side of the story?
Please.
So, all night, so it's Thanksgiving night for us, so all night I keep waking up to the smell of poop, and I'm looking around, because our one dog does have a lot of accidents, but he's always out in the open, so I just would look, sit up, look, wouldn't see anything. So then I'm like, man, Gene has the worst fart. I'm like, it's really bad. And he has his sleep apnea machine now, so he's getting fresh oxygen.
Yes.
And I'm there just breathing and shit. I couldn't find anything. I did think it was weird. Our one dog, who normally religiously sleeps in the bed, had gone and slept like on the floor in the corner. I thought that was weird, but I didn't see anything, so I just went back to sleep. And little did I know, there was a pile of doggy diarrhea.
Yeah, you didn't find it till later. And it's funny too, because she goes, man, you were farting like crazy last night. I thought the dog shit in the room. And I went, yeah, probably.
That's like the worst. The last thing you want to do when you're half asleep in the middle of the night is discover dog shit that you need to clean up. You know what I mean?
And that goes, yeah, all the parents out there are probably like, you're talking about dog shit? My kid has got the flu in the middle of the night. Yeah, but these dogs are potty trained, so we shouldn't have to deal with this.
Right. Well, one of them's potty trained. The other one's not.
I don't know. He's lucky. I would say he's like Kelso from that 70s show. He's lucky he's like handsome and cute, or if this was like an ugly dog not being able to like get potty trained good, I'd be like, I'd find someone to trick to take him.
Well, at least I wasn't the only one who got a little sick.
Well, yeah, so the connection there was, I was excited. I was like, when we're packing up leftovers at Thanksgiving, I go, make sure we give a little bit of turkey for the dogs. They were home alone all day. And we gave them their little thing and some clean green beans and stuff. And, yeah, they loved it, but Charlie got sick. So this is what the youngsters call hashtag cringe.
Okay.
I think Rachel has a lot of these because she was basically an only child. Of her and her friends would get together and seriously be like, yo, we should make a choreographed dance to Who Let the Dogs Out, and it's going to be awesome. And in their minds, it's nothing funny about it. They're like, this is serious. We need to take this serious. And I was wondering, because you were an only child for a little bit, is there anything you can remember that you look back on and you go, damn it, little Steven, someone should have stopped you from doing that?
I used to get put on the spot a lot to sing because I can sing good. And when I was a little kid, our parents used to make me sing songs for like
all the adults around. 'Cause Dad would play guitar around the fire.
And, you know, I don't think it was cringy, but I do remember one time, and it scarred me for life. We're up at our cabin, and we're all sitting around the fire, and I was getting to that age. You were alive at this point, but you were really young. You wouldn't remember it. And this is the age where I'm like, this is embarrassing. But they wouldn't let it go, and they wanted me to sing House of the Rising Sun by the Animals. And there's a part of the song where the note got too high for me and my voice broke. Or cracked, whatever. And I couldn't hit the note, and I was mortified.
Did you just stop singing at that point, or did you power through and finish the song?
You gotta finish the song.
Okay. Because it is, thinking of that, it's mom and dad, we're at the mountain house, definitely drinking, and they probably invited a pair of their friends or something up. So there was probably at least 6 people.
Yeah, there was an audience. But I have to say, I mean,
that's not that bad, though, because that's before cameras. Because if that happened now, mom would have been like, if we were this generation right now, mom would have filmed that and put it on Facebook and make, look at my son.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also a pretty cringy video that we have. We had that video camera. And we went to Disney for Christmas. And there is a karaoke video of you and I on stage singing White Christmas, dressed like a couple of goobers, looking corny, looking stupid, but we're kids.
We have hats on and the fancy shirts that mom thought were...
Yeah, I'm like, this is fat kid looking like Tommy Boy's little stepbrother or something.
And the 6-year gap, I'm a little kid, so the audience thinks this is probably cute for me. But you're old enough where you're like, this isn't cute anymore.
And I have terrible stage fright, so I can actually sing for the people out there. But when I have a microphone and people watching, I just can't do it. And so like when I'm watching that video, I'm thinking about like, dude, you're better than that. You can sing this song good. And it's just, it's funny.
But what it made me think of is what we were talking about the other day of like, just you being old enough to have bullied me or whatever word you like.
Not a bully.
Not bully. Good job on you of stopping me from little kids just do kind of gay things a little bit sometimes.
It's little kids have enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And you have to beat that out of them.
Or you gotta let kids have fun. Maybe that's why Gene's so weird
Neurotic.
now.
Oh, it's my fault.
Stevie, the
It's
reason
my fault.
Well, I will say, it's funny because these were home videos, so it'd be even impossible almost to get them on the internet. But I used to like to get dressed up like when I was a little kid. We always had the big Christmas parties, and there's home video of me wearing like not top hats, but like fedoras with matching suits and stuff. And I used to like to get dressed up, and I used to like to act. I was in that little acting class, so like I used to do things that now I'm like, why did you do that?
I forgot about the acting clip.
If anyone ever finds out about this, we're gonna get made fun of so hard.
Yeah, there's a video out there of me cutting a rug at like a wedding reception, and like I'm doing moves where I'm like crossing my legs and doing like I'm really into it.
You made sure I've never seen that because
I don't know
never
what it is. I would show it to you. I don't give a shit because when you're a little kid, I'm glad it's not on the internet. Maybe people are watching us right now and they're thinking, talk about cringeworthy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Do you want to hear my cringiest story?
Yes,
I can
please.
think of? It's not on video, although someone might have. But I was on an airplane on the way to Indonesia, one of the connections. So a long flight, really long flight. Yeah. I am... how old are you in 3rd grade? I'm like...
You're like 9 or 10.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm 9
8,
years
10-ish.
old. The new Oops, I Did It Again Britney Spears CD, the pink one, had just came out. And the Pokemon CD had just came out, like the Pokemon soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know why my parents didn't stop me, but I had my CD player on and just sang to the plane. The whole Britney Spears CD, the whole Pokemon CD,
that's a nightmare.
Singing.
Could you imagine being the person that's about to get ready, like, I got to sit on here for 16 hours, and it starts with a little girl, because I imagine you have your headphones on, so you're off pitch, just singing, Oops, I did it again, and just being like, dude, this is going to be the worst.
You literally sang more than one song?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And when we got to Indonesia, I sat in the hotel with the window open and I sang out the window.
That's why sometimes you need an older sibling.
I was having a blast.
I'm
though.
sure you did.
You ruined a lot of people's flights.
Yes.
And
It
it's
was-
not even their fault. Like, they're not being mean. Like,
No,
one
I would
song-
be pissed off if
yeah,
I was.
You would be like, this is obnoxious.
If I was on a 3-hour flight and that shit started, I would go, unacceptable, please.
Even if somebody stood up and started singing that was like an amazing singer, you'd be like, stop.
Unless you're fucking Britney Spears singing "Oops, I Did It
Even
Again."
then, I'd be like, why is she singing a fucking song?
Yeah, I'd go, no, I didn't pay for this.
Yeah. But that's an impossible situation because when it's a little kid, you're not going to be able to stand up and say, can you shut that kid up?
See, that's where that's where I go, I can hold it in and grit my teeth, and then she'll pause for a second and start another song, and I just go, really? and that's when I get in trouble because
You wouldn't get in trouble. Honestly, most of the plane would be like, thank God.
you would
someone said
think that the
something."
stewardess were like, we have to be on this plane too. Like, ma'am, your daughter needs to not yell to everybody.
Well, I'm thinking maybe like it's their job to be on that plane, so they probably get a little pleasure out of everybody else on the plane
point.
being pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, I take pleasure in that kind of stuff sometimes. Like, when you are having a bad day and you're freaking out about something stupid. Like, I love it.
Also, it may have been like the Taiwan airline or something else too. So it may have been not all
if it was
English speaking.
Well, that makes it almost worse. But if it's the Taiwan airline, there's some lady boys on there. They're going, man, I wish I had the courage to go up there and sing Britney Spears right now.
Yeah, maybe I was empowering people.
I highly doubt that. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that just goes to show, like, I can only imagine missing lyrics. Oh, God. I didn't know that story. But yeah, I just thought, I was just thinking it's so funny to think of. It's the moments you lay in bed at night and all of a sudden you're half asleep and then you go, oh man, I forgot that happened. Like the one with me for you is we were at like Walmart and it was going to be close to my birthday and mom probably gave you a couple bucks to buy me a present and you go, what do you want? And I picked out like something ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And then you were like, I don't have enough money for that. And I was like, you cheap bastard. And I walked out. I think about that like twice a week.
Which
you don't even remember. But I always think about that. I'm like, I'm such a piece of shit.
Yeah. Well, you are, so.
Yeah. But so the other thing I was thinking, just to recap, which is I like to try at these early episodes to paint a picture of our dynamic, is our camping trip we did this summer.
Yeah.
Which I think has a lot of nice stories out of it, but also some.
There's a theme to going on trips with you.
Yeah, and
so why don't you lay out the basic? First and foremost, I just want to put this in. The whole reason we went camping really is because you got excited about camping gear that was for sale.
I do like gear.
That's what kicked off the whole thing. The kid loves gear.
No. To precurse that, we were watching Alone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
and we were like, dude, we got to go camping. We used to do it as a little kid, but we would go. We were kids, so like our dad would set up the tent. You know, like we had mom would have 17 pounds of food, so we were good to go. But we were like, we want to do a little bit more. If you haven't watched Alone, watch it. You're welcome in advance.
We weren't surviving, but we wanted to get out.
We wanted to do a little bit,
nature.
just a little bit more rugged. Nothing crazy. We wanted to have the truck with us, but
we had to bring the dogs.
We did have to bring the dogs.
Had to bring the dogs everywhere.
Rachel.
I'm sorry. I don't.
That's her babies.
It's hard to get out there and survive when you have dogs with
that
you.
are afraid of everything.
If I was out there surviving for real, I would have to take care of the dogs too. So.
Either way, so we're watching Alone, and we're trying to plan this camping trip, and we go, let's go to our old house area where they demolished it 20 years ago.
Right. It was in a floodplain.
It was a floodplain.
It got flooded. Government bought us out. We had to move out of there. Just, people don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
And we wanted to go back to that location to camp.
Because we used to go in those woods when we were little kids.
Yeah, I lived in those woods.
Exactly. But so we can't go anymore. It's like a drainage situation. Anyway, I ended up buying all of this camping gear secondhand from a family. A lot of it was really good. All we needed was sleeping bags. And we thought we had a tent, which we did. But this ended up having a bunch of stuff. And it was a good value.
Oh, yeah. It was a great purchase. But it's just funny. Because all the enthusiasm we had about going out and surviving and camping ruggedly could have happened, but you had to be there. So go ahead and tell everybody what happened.
Okay, so we get all the camping gear. We want to just escape. This is right after our mom passed. Rachel's only visiting a little bit, and we go, let's do a cool camping trip. Rachel gets here. We find out, holy shit, we can't go to an old land. So we end up finding out in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, which is cool area, cool landscape and whatnot, and Rachel finds us a good place. We pack our bags. We all have our nice big old, the equipment I bought had nice bags and stuff we fill up. I really want a hatchet, so I went out and bought a hatchet. We were very well prepared. We get out there, and we end up taking a wrong turn. So we get there, we have to check in at the main building.
This is out in the Pine. This is not a campground like you.
No,
normally. We were out in the middle of the fucking Pine Barrens. Not a soul around. except for some cars driving really fast through like the desert track
At
out
night,
there.
yeah, like they were.
Which you could see if you had the right car, it would be fun as shit.
If you had like an actual like rally car, that's what I think we were seeing.
Well,
late
nobody
at night.
has a fucking rally car.
But just a nice Subaru with good wheels on it. You could. Anyway, we're out there.
Not a rally car.
Subarus make rally cars, Steven. God, he knows nothing about rally cars. But no, so we get there. We have a good time. We get set up. We have all the equipment we need. And we're trying to, this is us trying to rough it. We go, we're just going to bring chili and hot dogs. And Rachel, being a vegan, has to bring her vegan sausages and SpaghettiOs, right?
Yeah.
The SpaghettiOs are vegan. We get set up there. Was that August? Yeah, it was
August or
yeah.
the beginning of
We're
September.
starting to get the real heat of the days. And it's in a place you have to, like, I can't keep my truck lights on all night. We're going to lose battery power, because if that happened, we would have actually been fucked. Like, we're out of cell service at this point. We're, like, deep in there. So we are able, and my one goal is I wanted to start a fire with the ferro rod and just stuff around, which I was able to do. It took me a while, but I was proud. We started this fire. Well,
It's hard to start a fire like that when you're sweating profusely.
yes, that's all we
Dampness
did.
I was sweating because I'm also
A sweaty person.
we don't have. I'm a sweaty person, but we don't do little fires.
No.
I don't do little fires.
And we want enough, because we're like by ourselves and we're out there, so we want a decent fire. And they don't have firewood for you. Like, we had to like find trees that were falling down, and we're dragging it. God knows what bugs were getting on us, but we get this fire started. I almost burnt my hair off doing it. But it's like, even at night it was 85 degrees, so we have to have the fire for light. I guess, long story short, the funny part is, I don't want to bore you with it, I can't poop unless I have a toilet.
So there was an outhouse. That's the only thing around, was a little outhouse.
A very clean one.
That Rachel and I both used, right?
Yeah.
Listen, clean is a very objective or subjective. I never know how to use those words.
Subjective.
Subjective.
Well, knowing we were at a campground,
What did you expect?
yeah, it was
That's the thing.
pristine for what I was expecting.
So yeah,
I'll give you that. I
What-
didn't know what to expect.
What did you? That was better than I anticipated the bathroom situation being. My thing is, we are camping. We're all set up. We're all gung ho. We're out in the woods.
We had a
Got
good
the-
night.
Let me finish. We got the fire started. Everybody's settled in. We're getting ready to eat, and you are not even as uptight about you are about pooping, which we've covered on this show. It didn't even cross your mind that, like, I'm gonna have to poop out here.
No, looking back, I need to do the 5-gallon bucket with a trash bag in there. Here's the thing. It's when my mind goes somewhere. It's crazy that you guys won't acknowledge. The outhouse is a giant hole dug with a little shed above it. It has a smell to it.
An earth smell. It didn't smell like poop at all.
No.
Rachel, right?
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised, and it had like almost windows in it, so there was airflow, and there was no one around, so we could just leave the door open.
And there was a fucking toilet seat.
Yeah.
And a clean toilet seat. There was
I can't argue. I ruined the trip, because the one thing you were excited about as a coffee fiend is the camping equipment came with 2 types of coffee makers that you can use for the fire, which we established a nice fire. I do feel bad about that, but I was backed up, so when I couldn't poop that night. Trying to poop, I threw up everything I ate and drank, and then just the rest of the night was a little tough for me.
Yeah, so you're like 100 yards away from where we're camping, over at the outhouse, and me and Rachel would just start hearing you retching and gagging, and we both non-verbally were like, here we go.
At least I tried.
I did. How hard did you try?
I went in there, and leading up to this too, we need to add, being a bigger man, we were going to thrift stores so I could buy proper, like, I didn't have good clothes to go camping. So, like, this was 6-7 days of preparation to do this trip.
Yeah.
I bought boots. I bought pants that I cut off at the proper length that I was comfortable in, a good shirt. I had multiple layers ready. What we learned is,
Let's talk about your sleeping situation.
Okay.
So we bed down, right?
These tents.
Hold on, real quick. When you had your little vomiting, gagging situation over at the outhouse, when you came back, I was like, bro, you have to poop. If you don't poop, we're going to have a problem in the middle of the night or something. And you were like, I'll be fine. I can just hold it. Which everybody knew that's bullshit. You can't.
What was the option? You guys were like, lean over a thing. And I go, dude, I can't. I'm going to throw up to the point of we have to leave tonight. Like, it's going to be a medical emergency.
This is an adult. You just figure out a way to poop outside.
Well, now I know I think I have to just do the 5-gallon bucket with a hefty bag in there.
So it's bedtime, and we had a good time.
Well, no, we had a good time the rest of the night.
But so
we ate the hot dogs. Can we talk about the hot dogs though for a quick second?
Yeah, campfire dogs.
Dude, do yourself a favor. Start a wood fire. Get just simple hot dogs with a nice clean stick, and just eat them even without a bun. They are so good.
Yeah.
You ate like 6 dogs that night.
I did.
5-6 dogs.
Yeah. And without a bun, so it's,
Oh no, not but we had those dogs were delicious. Yeah. So we had the rest of it was fine, and we had plenty of water, and
our water bag had a hole in it.
Yeah, so we had first time we used it, but we were able to fix it. But so we go to sleep, and the same way they talk about, and this is going to bring out the fat in me, a serving of food. This is a one-person serving of food versus 2 people. These 2 people, quote unquote, tents aren't like you were filling up your whole tent.
I could have had another person in there, but I get what you're saying. Plus, you had 2 dogs in the tent,
and it's hot. Like,
it was
hot.
Yeah, even in the middle of the night, it was probably like in mid-80s.
Yeah. So we have our tent.
Humid.
It's me, Rachel, and the 2 dogs, and I sleep on my stomach. So by morning time, I kind of got a little bit of sleep, but my ribs were bruised from it. And of course, morning glory. I wake up having to poop. On top of holding back the other poops, I was in panic mode.
Yeah.
I like ripped Rachel out of the tent more or less. I was like, start packing, and you were sleeping fine. You had a good spot because you had shade. I had that thing like soon as the sun came up was cooking us in the tent.
You were never really fully asleep the whole time.
No, I just couldn't.
Because you were holding the shit in.
It wasn't the shit, no. It was the heat, and I thought I was on sand when I put my tent. Dude, my rib cage was like hitting rock.
Even through the blankets and stuff.
Yeah. I'm also a lot heavier than you 2.
You guys had a fan in your tent? I didn't have no fan.
I have to bring a fan everywhere I go because that's the only way I can sleep is the noise.
Yeah, right.
So we have that. If I could have pooped, it would have been fine. I will give you guys that. But so we wake up that morning. I know you wanted to.
I had a whole plan.
Yeah, you had a plan.
I had a whole plan. We were going to ease into leaving.
I forced everyone to wake up and start packing up because at this point I had so much pressure. I feel bad, but at the same time, you guys should have recognized, like, dude, I was going through something.
I totally did. But my thing was, we all knew this was coming. We were begging you to figure out a way to relieve yourself so that we don't have to have an emergency first thing in the morning.
Also, not to mention, we were like an hour out from anything. So even if we packed up and left right there, we're still an hour away. So in my head, I was wondering why you shouldn't just try to poop
it's absurd.
There.
Because
we offered to build you a wooden toilet.
Yeah,
first of all, how are you going to build me a wooden toilet?
You wouldn't have used it anyway, even if we did build a wooden toilet.
No,
You're a fucking weirdo.
Your guy's suggestion was
sit on a log.
Put your ass over a log, which I told you I've had a story about this before.
You sit on your own feet.
I fell in the shit one time and shit on my own feet.
Well,
What option do I have? Because what happens if I shit on my feet? We only had a little
that's
bit of
your
water.
problem.
No,
You're making your problem with shitting everyone's problem, and we all begged you to alleviate yourself so we don't have to get up in the morning and fucking roll out of there.
I didn't eat much to try and make myself not poop.
You had no chance. You were never going to be able to hold it.
I used to.
I mean, all you have to do is this. And then you shit.
That is, you shit every 3 days a solid turd.
That's not true. Not every 3 days. Every other day.
But you shit turds. Dude, I'm painting my ankles if I'm trying to squat and shit.
You're such a nice guy. You're always so conscientious of everybody. And this time you just set us up in the bullseye and just, we all knew it was going to happen, and it just happened. And it was like, what the fuck, man? And I'm grumpy in the morning. And when you woke me up and were like, we got to get out of here now, I was like...
The funny part, too, was that...
Steven's getting a little heated. He's not happy about
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I was excited to go camping. And
I was, too.
The
You
funny
act like
part was that you guys insisted on fully primitive camping. When I was looking at campsites, it has to be primitive. It has to be primitive. So we got primitive, but we aren't cut out for it.
And it wasn't even primitive. There was a fucking nice outhouse with a clean pooping facility.
What am I supposed to do? I went in there, tried to poop, and just started throwing up.
What would you have done if we were camping on your old land with no...
He would have made us leave.
No, yeah, then we would have been in close driving distance of the house. I guess we could have taken a
You know
poop
what,
break.
guys? You just go camping without me from now on.
We're gonna have to.
I wish I had an answer for you.
Can we
Do
use
you
your
think,
gear?
Do you think I'm happy about it?
No, I don't think you're happy.
I
about it.
tried and I set it up. I bought all the equipment. I was trying to do this, and then I learned in real time. I don't know what would happen. If like an apocalypse happened, I'm dying first, I guess.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to ditch you.
Leave me,
because you're gonna be like, we need to find a Wawa toilet so I can poop. Nah, dude, there's fucking zombies there. Well, what do you want me to do? I can't poop outside. Why not? Everybody else can. So you just have to go die. But my biggest thing was, it wasn't that you had a problem with the outhouse or that you had an emergency in the morning. It was that you thought you could hold it when everybody knew there's no way you can hold it.
I thought, well, because I didn't eat much.
You shit a lot, bro.
I know, but
So-
I thought like, okay, I ate 2 hot dogs that day. I ate like I ate like a granola bar and then like 2 hot dogs that
Weren't
day.
you just saying how
We were housing.
delicious and you guys were eating a million hot dogs?
I ate Steven ate. You ate a majority of the.
I'm not denying that.
I think maybe I ate 3 hot dogs.
Even if you
'Cause
ate
I was
nothing, even if you ate nothing, you would have had the same thing happen.
Yeah.
And so we all pack up in a hurry. Everything's kind of thrown in the back of the truck, and we get lost coming out of there.
Because we got bad instructions of coming in. We took like the off road, which
Yeah.
was supposed to be for ATVs.
So I think Rachel was driving, right?
No, I drove the whole time.
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter.
But on the way out, we're going down this road that we're like, yo, this looks like nothing.
Everything
And it
looks the
turns
same
out
out
it's
there.
for forest fire reasons. And I'm at the point where I'm starting to get like sick because I have to go to the bathroom. And I could have sworn there was a Wawa right around the corner.
There was. Well, not right around the corner, but there was. But remember, they didn't have a bathroom.
And then, the first one we stopped at didn't have a fucking bathroom.
I wish we had a clip to show the people of you walking into that Wawa with your ass cheeks squeezed tight and you're just a big guy.
I was,
waddles.
dude, I was, and
then when you had to come out without relieving yourself, I was.
because
I'll be
also we huffed it that night. I mean, we were getting firewood and stuff, so like I stink like fire. I got dirt on my face. I'm sweaty, and I just needed to shit. And when we finally got to a Wawa that had a bathroom, dude, I'm gonna shit myself trying to clean it up because I won't just sit on a dirty thing. So there's piss on the ground, so I'm going out into the thing to get
This is at the second Wawa.
At the second Wawa, I'm getting the paper towels to dry your hands, wetting them, cleaning the floor, and then I lift up the seat and there's piss everywhere. So I'm cleaning this whole bathroom while I'm basically almost shitting myself. And then on top of it, once again, like I said, I attract crazy. I'm taking this complete empty bathroom this whole time. While I'm taking a dump, 3 dudes come in, and this is only a 1 toilet and a one urinal.
Yeah.
So these dudes are like huffing and puffing out here, and I keep hearing this one dude like, it sounded like he needed an oxygen machine, and I can see, you can see the feet under the fucking urinal, him leaning back and forth. He's like holding his weight up on anything he can. I finally get done dumping, and clean it, and I go to come out. And this dude is like, he's like laying. His feet are on the ground, but his whole body is like laying on where the 2 sinks are. And he's got like jeans and a shirt in his hand. And he's wearing like SpongeBob pajama pants and like a shirt that has holes in it. Like a fucking just this. No one should ever wear this out in public. And then he's huffing and puffing because then he realizes I'm about to wash my hands, and he makes like an audible like kind of like, why the fuck is this dude washing his hands now?
What was he doing?
He's waiting for everyone to leave to get changed. I don't know. Like I said, he was homeless, or like
he wasn't homeless. You can't be homeless.
Or
out
like
there.
a trucker or something.
In the middle of the woods.
I don't know, but like he was huffing and puffing. He's like I felt like he was about to say, "This is my bathroom. Everyone needs to leave so I can do my thing."
Weird.
So then I poop, and we get home, and
we haven't gone camping since.
We haven't gone camping since.
Which I would really like to go camping.
I will say, I would be a better cold weather pooper.
Skeptical.
I bet if that.
Highly skeptical.
I bet if I can use that urinal. Or not urinal, the outhouse, I think I'd be more likely to be able to use it when it's cold. Remember,
it's not
this
cooking in there.
It was hot as shit. You're right. It was earthy smells, but there was a smell to it. As soon as you open that thing, there was a smell to it. Most people, did you poop while you were there? Let me ask you that.
No, but I used the urinal a couple times, or the outhouse a couple times.
Why did you walk there to pee?
Because I was the one who discovered it.
Okay.
Remember, I took a.
Yeah, you're right. But
this is my thing. We're not gonna not go camping ever again because of your ass, and it can't happen again. That can't happen again. So you have to figure out what you need to do so that we can enjoy camping like we did when we were kids. Because I'm starting to sense that like
you
don't like to leave the house because you have such a finicky butthole that you need to be close to your toilet.
No, but I poop in public, no problem.
I'm just saying, we're not going to not go camping, and you got to figure this out.
I mean, if someone has a suggestion out there, if there's a doctor who can give me non-nausea pills, it's just nothing ruins something than having to throw up.
Yeah, I
because then it's like a 20-30 minute process of me like, I can't talk afterwards. Like, I have to, like, start getting stuff to go back down so I can at least, like, bring words out again.
Can you put yourself in my shoes or Rachel's shoes and see that it was like standing on a train track and a train coming right for you and you just stay standing there? Like, everybody saw it was coming and you just were like, I'll hold it.
I just know I could. Yes, but I know I couldn't do the other things.
That can't happen again.
Well, I'm not going camping. I guess I've lost.
Get you a little portable toilet.
I've lost all my woodsmanship. You guys can use the equipment. I'll stay home, I guess.
Well, the deal was when we bought the large lot of camping equipment
that we're going to use it.
That we would actually use it.
So I think right here on air we should plan a camping trip.
Okay, yeah, let's plan somewhere that has a toilet that I can use.
Okay, but then we can't do real camping. We just have to go to a campground.
No, I will say I think I would do better in a colder situation. One, we both were profusely sweating.
Yeah, it was hot.
And
It
I
was
was scared, like, for the dogs. It was very, very hot.
You also had them like out in the sun.
Yeah.
And we were trying to make shade for them.
But it was so cool because we had no other campers near us. We were out in the middle. We could see the stars. We had the campfire roaring. We had good food.
Trust me, I know I ruined it, and I really enjoyed it. And I tried. Like, I walked away telling you guys, like, because at first I said, I'm going to try and hold it. And then, like, 15 minutes later I go, guys, I'm Rachel, give me the wipes and stuff. I'm going to go try. And you heard, like, that wasn't me fake. I can't fake throw up. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think you were faking. I'm just.
I don't know. Like,
we should have just packed up that. In my mind, it was like, well, if he's not even going to try to shit out here, then we might as well just pack up and leave now.
well,
Coming.
This is coming. You're just being a little bit of a bitter bitch about the morning.
I wanted to
A lot of
stay
your
out
angry comes from you didn't get your coffee, and because then even in the truck, we stopped at Wawa and I go, "Can I get you a cup of coffee?" And you go, "No, just get me home."
I didn't say that.
Yeah, Rachel, did I not offer to buy him
That's
coffee?
bullshit.
Yeah, we were going
I
to
don't
get him
remem-
coffee.
Because
and
Rachel
then-
wanted a breakfast sandwich.
And then you did change your mind. You said you didn't want anything.
You were I get it, because I'm not a best morning person, but I had to wake you up and help you pack up quick. And I'm not in the right either, but
I was salty.
You were being a salty morning person because
still a
even
little
at the same
salty.
point, I go, let me buy you some coffee maybe to get your energy levels and make you happy again. And you go, no.
Okay.
You
Well,
wanted to sit in your sulk for a little bit.
I definitely was bent. Not because it was just because it was obviously going to happen, and it was the morning. But anyway, every time we go on a trip, you have something happen.
That's why
But
I don't go a
usually-
lot of places.
No, you need to experience life. Okay.
I've been to more places you have, but I only go to places where I know I can experience them.
I
Peru
think we
sounds
just need to figure out your tummy.
okay. Well, this is 30 years.
But we talked about it earlier before the pod that if you really wanted to, you could break down your diet and figure out what causes you stomach issues and what doesn't. But that's, something to think about.
Yeah, maybe. Or
But that won't stop you from freaking out when you smell poop or get skeeved out. But we're going to go camping soon.
let's just put it this way. How about I can't deal with poop, but neither of you are great with like blood and broken bones. So in the
You're just making stuff up. I don't have a problem with blood or broken bones.
That's just me.
okay, maybe that's just her. Maybe you're just the best of us and you go camping by yourself. How about that?
Can I borrow your gear?
Yeah, but you gotta stop talking shit on me.
I thought we were telling the story. This is all factual. This ain't shit talking. I mean,
Became a really heated podcast.
I didn't
really
realize
quickly.
he had so much.
I'm not heated at all.
Rachel, let's pick on him. Heated. Look how mad he is.
So
He didn't get his
mad.
cup of coffee that one day, and he will never let it go.
I just want to clarify that it's an absurd thing to have happen on a camping trip. When it's like,
Also, when we were younger,
were
we
someone-
went camping places where there was like legit. We never went places where there
no,
wasn't like an
you're
actual
right. Well,
outhouse.
we were looking for roughing it. I'm just saying, I knew it was going to happen that night, and you just didn't try to poop anywhere. And
I did. The cleanest, most easiest place. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you pooped outside that it didn't go somewhere? Because I guarantee I've done it more than you have.
Well, you have to poop all the time.
Yeah, but no, I've gone camping 1,000 times more than you have at the Poconos. I pooped outside, but guess what happens? While I'm pooping, I throw up. And that's just something I thought I could maybe move past that night and go, I haven't eaten much today. I purposely didn't eat much today. All of the liquids I had, I've sweated out. And it didn't work.
Okay.
But I tried. I put a formula together. And it backfired super hard because I panicked. I almost cried at one point when we stopped, and I thought there might be a clean out house at that one sign. Also, I thought we were lost. I cried like a little bit.
Oh, I have no preconceived notion that you were being dramatic. I know it was a real situation. And I'm not. I just want to go camping again.
I think I just have to do the. I think I can get away with the construction poop.
I think
with a
that'll
5-gallon bucket and the thick, hefty bag.
You just tie the bitch up. I'm just saying I don't want to never go camping again with you because of this incident.
I do think I'm a better cold weather camper.
Okay. Well, me too. I mean, it was hot, but we knew that.
And the bugs were like, it was fun as shit, but we had a lot of we picked like a bad time to go camping, I think.
Well, yeah. We were just kind of trying to get away after all the drama that happened and Mom passing. We had to get out of the house for a little while.
Are mimes still around? Have you ever seen a mime in your life?
They're not in America. In Europe, in France and stuff.
You think they're still
Oh, yeah. There's
forming?
Mime. It's like a art form still, yeah.
Rachel, you've been to more circuses we've established.
Mimes aren't a circus thing.
But I feel like in America, if they're going to be somewhere, they're going to be around like a carnival or...
I would think a mime would be like a street performer.
I was going to say those exact words. They're like,
I feel like I have seen a mime street performer.
In like New York City or L.A., in some big metropolis, but...
You think in L.A. like they got... Cause I know they have like superheroes that dress up, take pictures. I feel like I've never even seen videos of mimes anymore.
Because nobody wants to see a mime.
Yeah, they have 4 moves.
Just,
I'm in a box. I'm pulling a rope.
But there are like prestigious mime courses that I know it's like you know how some things that are really old timey, especially in Europe because of the long history they have and long culture, they will live way too long. Like mimes shouldn't really be an art form anymore, but there are people that take the art of mime.
Because now I think mimes have just stepped up to the dudes who can like look like they're floating, or like they're painting like a gold robot kind of.
But a real mime would scoff at that, and smack you for saying
the reason I bring it up. I remember when you were younger, you used to love to paint your face and act like a mime. You used to steal all mom's makeup and paint. Yeah. That would be funny as shit. Shut up, dude! That's not real. And I'm like, I have video of it, guys.
That would be a cringeworthy video.
Steve, if you thought that Steven was really into miming, I can do the box thing so good in the rope pool.
I just like the makeup. Yeah. But there's other things like that still survive this today that it should be gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I'm glad because mimes were the original buskers, I think they call them.
Yeah.
Street performers, buskers. Mimes were like the original of those, but now there's some ones that are out there. I see videos that are really good, especially the dudes that can loop beats and then like write a song in front of you, kind of.
Yeah, that's a talent. That's definitely next level busking. Do we consider flash mobs a form of busking? What is that?
No, because I don't think they get paid. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know the definition,
That's
but
like
I wouldn't.
A group event versus like.
Because those usually start on like chat forums almost. Like it's not like a bunch of dudes hanging out in New York. Like you like dancing. I feel like it starts like a Facebook group.
Yeah. I think what that is a symptom of a society without a communal feel to it. We should just be spending more time with each other and talking to each other once in a while, and then we wouldn't need flash mobs. There is just all these ways that people are desperate to be part of a group, and they don't go to church. I mean, I could go all day on this.
So what it sounds like to me is like you're not a big fan of church. So do you want to start dancing with a lot of people? This is the start. Actually, Steven's starting a flash mob in Pittsburgh, and we're gonna do the cha-cha.
Send us a message.
The
if
electric
you're
slide.
Yeah.
If we got enough people, you would have to do it. If enough people said they want to do the electric slide, I would make you do it.
I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I mean, I could learn it, but most people have.
It would
been
be
to enough
funnier
weddings.
to go out there and everyone else be good at it, and you up front sucking.
That
at
might
it.
happen even if I try. There's a lot of options to get a community to feel without flash mobbing.
We talked about LARPing. if it wasn't like so hard to get into, we've grown up. We've always played video games that are like
high fantasy type
high
shit.
fan because it is fun.
Magic
to think,
cards.
and you level up and whatever. But like if LARPing would take a step back from the seriousness.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I can't take myself seriously enough not to just laugh at the whole situation.
Which, and I bet there's a lot of people that do, but like I've looked into it. You have to sign up and get accepted to like a clan,
Yeah, it's
and
too
whatnot.
much.
Let me show up to a park with a rubber sword, and
It's like it's probably like there's these elite kind of these people think like they're actually a king.
and you know
or a
there's going to be
prince.
a 50-year-old dude who he's the high priest wizard, and
It's just a really elaborate way for nerds to get blown.
hey, and good for you
Yeah.
if you put that time in. That's a community, but like I said, that's something like I wish I had a friend who's been doing. He's like, dude, my dad's been doing it for 30 years. Do you want to come to an event? I would totally go to that event, but there's no way in hell me and you were just showing up one day and being like, hi guys, we're interested in this. They probably would like make fun of us. They would probably would like be like,
Right. What level is your fireball? My thing is, if you had the right group of people, it could be fun, but most of those people are going to be fucking weird and lame.
and like I said, you have to have an in. I feel like no one ever cold walks into a place like that.
No, because think of the small niche of people that are actually want to LARP.
And we would roll up and be like, I want to be a wizard. They'd be like, you can't just be a wizard.
Yeah, they'd probably be like, where's your character sheet? And we'd be like,
That's the thing. Like, you got to fill it out. They got to accept it. You got to become a part of a clan.
I didn't know all this.
Their website is like legit, and they make it like it's not easy. It's harder to fucking.
Why is everybody always trying to make things hard?
It's harder to sign up for that than it is to like sign up for Congress, dude. They think they really want to put you through it, and then you got to find like a sponsor almost, is from what I've seen. But we're probably getting around that time. We're gonna start wrapping things up, I think.
Quick update before we go. For those handful of people that saw last episode, just an update on my neighbor.
Oh
And,
yeah.
We're friends now.
Nice.
And I met his brother. And yeah. And he didn't mention the fact that I called his dog a girl dog. I didn't call it a girl. I just called him sweetheart.
And that was sitting on your shoulders heavy. You've brought it up a couple times.
Only because he so emphatically made sure that to.
Well, I
say
get
it was a
that.
boy
Something
dog.
will get stuck in my brain, and I just can't stop looping it of like, every time I see this guy, it's going to be a thought that comes up.
Yeah. So we're friends now, and we're not hanging out, but
That takes some time to bro
I
out.
don't really think we're like ever gonna be guys that hang, because he's a partier. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
And I'm gay now, and I don't party anymore. So.
It doesn't make you gay. It just makes you. It definitely separates people, but
It's just hard to connect with other adults when you don't drink, because that's what adults do when they get together. Mm-hmm. Normal people have a beer.
and when
whatever.
you're drinking, eventually you'll be like, all right, if we drink enough, I'll come out with a story that's a little like, this is who I am. And if you're not drinking, you're never going to give that story up. So he might go, yeah, one time I kissed a guy. It was just to see what it was like. And then if you don't reciprocate a story like that, he goes, all right, well, then I'm never going to be friends with this guy because now he knows.
Well, fuck him. First of all, it would be me being his friend, not him allowing me to be his friend. All right? Because I'm cool. I want to, especially because he's the door across from my door, I want to not have a bad relationship.
You know what? I'll tell you right this, having enough neighbors, keep it the way it is because you don't want to become good friends and something
Ooh,
happens.
yeah, there's a story to tell on the pod.
Yeah. So you don't want
yeah.
that. So you want to stay amicable, be able to have what I call paragraph conversations where I say a couple sentences, you say a couple sentences, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the best relationship you can have with a neighbor.
Yeah, you don't want to
Getting
get
too
in
close usually can only end with there will be a dispute whether, dude, you got to stop bringing mud in, and if you're friends, that could end it. But if you're just amicable, like, hey, man, it's easier to mention something like
Yeah.
that when you're just.
You're right. You don't want to get too close.
That's a good update. Rach, you want to give us anything else?
No, I just wanted to say thanks for saying that was a good update.
That is, yeah. I forgot about it when you said it. I was like, oh, yeah, shit, I forgot about that guy. Rachel, want to give us our plugs?
Okay. You can find us on Twitter at AML_media_. YouTube is the same. Instagram is AML Media _. TikTok is AML Media. And we're on Facebook as well under AML Media. All of the handles are on the screen. If you're watching the video, you can take a screenshot, or you can go to our website for direct links to everything, AML.NEWS.BLOG.
Keep on coming back.
Please.
Tell
Thank
your
you, guys.
friends, make fun of us. Leave us comments. Make fun of a pimple or something we might have. Whatever. Just
My red face.
Your face is red.
My face is always red. Thank you. I got to pee. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Rachel, high five.